Hello everyone, and welcome back to Body Revival. It's fantastic to have you joining us today. I'm truly grateful for your continued support, and for being a vital part of our community, all striving for better health and a more vibrant life. If you're new here, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button, and tap the notification bell, so you won't miss out on any of our future videos, packed with insights to help you navigate the often confusing world of health and nutrition. Today, we're going to tackle a topic that might just challenge some of your long-held beliefs about what constitutes a healthy diet. We're diving deep into the surprising truth about 3 seemingly innocuous foods that are widely promoted as beneficial, yet, for many, can be secretly undermining their health. This isn't about shaming food choices or promoting restrictive diets. It's about peeling back the layers of marketing hype and conventional wisdom to reveal the science-backed reasons why these particular foods, often consumed with the best intentions, might actually be doing more harm than good for a significant portion of the population. This topic is incredibly important because the widespread misunderstanding about these foods contributes to a silent health crisis. People are diligently trying to eat well, choosing what they believe are wholesome options, only to find themselves grappling with persistent digestive issues, unexplained weight gain, chronic inflammation, or a general feeling of malaise. Imagine diligently watering a plant with what you believe is purified water, only to discover it's slowly poisoning the roots. That's the insidious nature of consuming foods that appear healthy on the surface but carry hidden risks. The impact of dietary misinformation and the blind acceptance of health foods is staggering. Consider this. Despite an explosion in health awareness, diet fads, and an abundance of healthy food products, rates of chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, autoimmune conditions, and gut-related disorders continue to climb. For instance, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, approximately 1 in 10 Americans has diabetes, and 1 in 3 have prediabetes. While many factors contribute to this, dietary choices, even seemingly good ones, play a monumental role. Studies have shown that a significant percentage of individuals with digestive complaints, inflammatory conditions, and unexplained symptoms are consuming these very healthy foods on a regular basis, often in large quantities, believing they are doing their bodies a favor. The global market for healthy foods is worth hundreds of billions of dollars, yet, are we truly getting healthier? This disconnect is precisely why this conversation is so critical. It's about equipping you with the knowledge to make truly informed decisions, to look beyond the clever marketing, and to understand how your unique body interacts with different foods. We're going to expose the hidden downsides, clarify the mechanisms at play, and empower you to recognize the signs that these foods might not be serving you. So, prepare to have your perspectives broadened, and let's uncover the truth about these 3 healthy foods that you might want to reconsider. The first healthy food we need to scrutinize, and one that has been championed for decades as a cornerstone of a healthy diet, is whole wheat bread and other whole grain products. Now, I know this might come as a shock to many of you. For years, we've been told to ditch refined white bread and embrace the whole grain goodness of brown bread, whole wheat pasta and oats, citing their fiber content and complex carbohydrates. But the reality is far more nuanced, and for a significant portion of the population, these seemingly wholesome grains can be a silent saboteur of health. The primary culprit here is gluten, a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. While it's true that some individuals have a diagnosed autoimmune condition called celiac disease, where even a tiny amount of gluten triggers a severe immune response, a much larger percentage of people experience what's known as non-celiac gluten sensitivity (NCGSS), or simply find that gluten causes them significant digestive distress and systemic inflammation. Let's delve into the myriad ways whole wheat can manifest its negative effects, starting with persistent digestive issues. This isn't just a fleeting upset stomach. We're talking about chronic bloating that makes you feel perpetually full and uncomfortable, often accompanied by excessive gas that can be embarrassing and painful. Many individuals report alternating bouts of diarrhea and constipation, a hallmark of irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, a condition that is increasingly linked to gluten sensitivity. The cause here lies in how gluten interacts with the delicate lining of your gut. In sensitive individuals, gluten can trigger an inflammatory response that damages the tight junctions between intestinal cells. These tight junctions are supposed to form a protective barrier, preventing undigested food particles, toxins and bacteria from leaking out of the gut and into the bloodstream. When these junctions become compromised, a phenomenon often referred to as leaky gut, it sets off an alarm in your immune system. Imagine a fortress wall that develops tiny cracks. Invaders can now slip through, triggering a full-blown defense. A real-life example could be someone who faithfully eats a bowl of oatmeal for breakfast, a whole wheat sandwich for lunch, and whole wheat pasta for dinner, yet constantly feels bloated, gassy, and experiences unpredictable bowel movements. They might try probiotics, digestive enzymes, or even eliminate other foods, never realizing that their seemingly healthy whole grains are the root cause. If these digestive issues are not detected or addressed early, the chronic inflammation in the gut can lead to malabsorption of vital nutrients, leading to deficiencies despite a seemingly healthy diet. Furthermore, the persistent immune activation can pave the way for more serious conditions, including autoimmune disorders, as the immune system remains on high alert, eventually mistaking the body's own tissues for foreign invaders. It's a continuous internal battle that drains your energy and undermines your overall health. Expanding on the hidden dangers of healthy whole grains, another significant manifestation that often goes unrecognized as being linked to their consumption is chronic inflammation and widespread joint pain. Many individuals who diligently consume whole wheat products experience a pervasive, low-grade inflammation throughout their body, often translating into nagging aches and pains in their joints, muscles, and even unexplained headaches. This isn't the acute pain of an injury, but rather a persistent stiffness, tenderness, and discomfort that seems to move around the body or settle in specific areas like the knees, hips, or hands. The underlying cause for this inflammatory response, beyond the gut issues we just discussed, is multifaceted. When gluten triggers an immune reaction in sensitive individuals, the resulting inflammatory chemicals, known as cytokines, circulate throughout the bloodstream. These cytokines act as messengers, signaling inflammation in various tissues and organs, including the joints. Furthermore, the leaky gut phenomenon, where undigested food particles escape into the bloodstream, triggers a systemic immune response. The body's immune system, constantly battling these perceived invaders, can inadvertently begin to attack its own tissues, leading to autoimmune conditions where the body mistakenly attacks its own joints, as seen in conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. Even in the absence of a diagnosed autoimmune disease, this chronic, low-grade inflammation chips away at joint health, eroding cartilage and contributing to degenerative conditions over time. Consider a person who faithfully eats whole wheat toast for breakfast, a large whole grain salad for lunch, and whole wheat crackers as a snack, yet wakes up every morning with stiff, aching joints, finds their fingers swelling, and experiences persistent back pain. They might attribute it to aging, overexertion, or even the weather, trying various pain relievers with limited success, never suspecting their healthy diet. If this chronic inflammation and joint pain are not addressed, the long-term consequences are severe. It can lead to irreversible joint damage, reduced mobility, and a significant decrease in quality of life. Moreover, chronic systemic inflammation is a known driver of many other serious diseases, including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even certain cancers. It's a silent fire smoldering within the body, fueled by seemingly innocent foods, slowly eroding health and paving the way for more devastating conditions. Beyond the direct inflammatory and digestive consequences, another insidious effect of regular consumption of healthy whole grains, particularly for a significant portion of the population, is unexplained weight gain and stubborn belly fat, coupled with difficulty losing weight despite efforts. This is a particularly frustrating manifestation because many people turn to whole grains precisely because they believe they are conducive to weight loss, often due to their fiber content and the perception of being slow-burning carbohydrates. Yet, for many, the scale stubbornly refuses to budge, or worse, creeps upwards, especially around the midsection. The primary mechanism at play here is insulin resistance and the glycemic impact of these grains. While whole grains are often touted as having a lower glycemic index than refined grains, meaning they don't spike blood sugar as quickly. For many individuals, especially those with pre-existing metabolic vulnerabilities, they still cause a significant insulin response. When you consume carbohydrates, they are broken down into glucose, which enters your bloodstream. Your pancreas then releases insulin to shuttle this glucose into your cells for energy or storage. If you're constantly consuming high amounts of carbohydrates, even from healthy whole grains, your pancreas is continually pumping out insulin. Over time, cells can become resistant to insulin's effects, meaning they don't respond as well, leading the pancreas to produce even more insulin. High insulin levels are problematic for weight management because insulin is a fat storage hormone. It signals your body to store fat, particularly visceral fat around your organs, belly fat, and also inhibits the breakdown of stored fat for energy. Imagine trying to lose weight when your body is constantly receiving signals to store fat and hold on to it. Furthermore, the inflammatory response triggered by gluten in sensitive individuals can also contribute to insulin resistance, creating a vicious cycle. A real-life example could be someone who has replaced white rice with brown rice, white bread with whole wheat bread, and regular pasta with whole wheat pasta, diligently tracking calories, yet finds their waistline expanding and their energy levels fluctuating, leading to irresistible cravings. They might feel utterly bewildered, blaming themselves for a lack of willpower, when the underlying issue is their body's adverse reaction to these specific carbohydrates. If this unexplained weight gain, especially around the midsection, and accompanying insulin resistance go unaddressed, it doesn't just impact aesthetics, it significantly increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and even certain cancers. It perpetuates a state of metabolic dysfunction that makes long-term health exceedingly difficult to achieve, proving that sometimes what seems healthy can be a hidden adversary in the battle for a healthy weight. Transitioning from whole grains, let's now turn our attention to the second category of healthy foods that often betray our best intentions: conventional dairy products, specifically cow's milk, cheese, and yogurt. For decades, dairy has been promoted as essential for strong bones due to its calcium content, a dietary staple for children and adults alike. However, for a vast number of people, conventional dairy can be a significant source of health problems, contributing to a range of issues that are often misdiagnosed or attributed to other causes. The concerns with conventional dairy extend beyond simple lactose intolerance, which is the inability to digest the milk sugar lactose due to a deficiency in the lactase enzyme. While lactose intolerance is common, a deeper, more pervasive issue for many is the immune response to dairy proteins, particularly casein and whey, and the presence of hormones and antibiotics in conventionally farmed dairy. One of the most common and often distressing manifestations of an adverse reaction to dairy is recurrent skin issues, especially acne, eczema, and unexplained rashes. Many people struggle for years with chronic skin conditions, trying various topical creams, medications, and complicated skincare routines, never realizing that what they're consuming daily could be the primary culprit. The cause of these skin manifestations is multi-layered. Firstly, for those sensitive to dairy proteins, the immune system can react to casein and whey as foreign invaders, triggering an inflammatory response that manifests on the skin. This systemic inflammation can exacerbate existing skin conditions or cause new ones to appear. Secondly, conventional dairy products, particularly from cows treated with growth hormones, contain hormones like insulin, like growth factor 1 (IGF-1), which is structurally similar to human insulin. High levels of IGF-1 can stimulate the sebaceous glands in the skin, leading to increased oil production, clogged pores, and the proliferation of acne, causing bacteria. Imagine your skin as a canvas constantly being irritated and inflamed from within by a food source you believe is nourishing. A real-life example could be a teenager or even an adult in their 30s or 40s who consistently suffers from cystic acne. Despite meticulous hygiene and various treatments, they might drink milk daily, eat cheese regularly, and enjoy yogurt as a healthy snack. When they eliminate dairy, they often report a dramatic clearing of their skin, sometimes within weeks. If these skin issues are not addressed by identifying the root cause, it can lead to chronic discomfort, self-consciousness, and a reliance on medications that only address symptoms without resolving the underlying problem. Furthermore, chronic inflammation, even if primarily manifesting on the skin, signals a broader immune system dysregulation that can have cascading effects on other bodily systems over time. It's a visible cry from your body indicating that something in your diet is not agreeing with you. Beyond skin problems, another significant and often overlooked manifestation linked to conventional dairy consumption is chronic respiratory issues, particularly frequent sinus infections, congestion, and excessive mucus production. Many individuals experience a persistent feeling of stuffiness, post-nasal drip, or recurring bouts of sinusitis and ear infections. especially after consuming dairy products, yet they rarely connect the dots. They might visit their doctor repeatedly for antibiotics or decongestants, finding only temporary relief, or attributing their symptoms to allergies or seasonal changes. The underlying cause for these respiratory symptoms in dairy-sensitive individuals is primarily the body's inflammatory response to dairy proteins, particularly casein, and its impact on mucus production. Casein is known to be a common allergen and can trigger an immune-mediated inflammatory response that leads to increased mucus secretion and thickening. Imagine your respiratory passages and sinuses becoming perpetually inflamed and clogged, making it difficult for the natural drainage systems to work efficiently. This creates a breeding ground for bacteria and viruses, leading to recurrent infections. A real-life scenario might involve a child who is constantly battling ear infections and sniffles, or an adult who wakes up every morning with a congested nose and throat, clearing their throat repeatedly throughout the day. They might drink a glass of milk with breakfast, have cheese on their sandwich for lunch, and enjoy ice cream as a dessert, entirely unaware of the direct link between their dairy intake and their respiratory woes. If these chronic respiratory issues are not addressed by identifying dairy as a potential trigger, it can lead to a reliance on antibiotics, which can disrupt the gut microbiome and contribute to antibiotic resistance. Furthermore, persistent inflammation in the respiratory tract can lead to more severe conditions like chronic sinusitis, asthma exacerbations, and a diminished quality of life due to constant discomfort and difficulty breathing. It's a clear signal that your immune system is reacting adversely, leading to congestion and inflammation that can profoundly affect your breathing and overall well-being. The third category of healthy foods that warrant serious re-evaluation, and one that has deeply permeated our modern dietary landscape, is seed oils, specifically those highly processed vegetable oils like soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, and safflower oil. These oils are often marketed as heart-healthy or cholesterol-free alternatives to saturated fats, and they are ubiquitous in processed foods, restaurant cooking, and even in many home kitchens. Yet, for a growing body of scientific evidence and anecdotal reports, these oils are far from benign. In fact, they are major drivers of inflammation and chronic disease. The primary concern with these oils stems from their high concentration of unstable polyunsaturated fatty acids, PUFAs, particularly omega-6 fatty acids, their extensive processing, and their propensity to oxidize. One of the most critical manifestations of consuming an excess of these seed oils is a pervasive systemic inflammation that acts as a silent, insidious force undermining health throughout your body. This inflammation often doesn't present as acute pain, but rather as a low-grade, simmering fire that contributes to a myriad of chronic conditions. Think of it as your body constantly being on high alert, even without a direct threat. The primary cause of this inflammation lies in the unbalanced ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids. While both are essential, our modern diet, heavily reliant on seed oils, has skewed this ratio dramatically in favor of omega-6. Omega-6 fatty acids, when consumed in excess and in their highly processed form, can be pro-inflammatory, meaning they promote the production of inflammatory molecules in the body. Furthermore, these oils are highly unstable due to their numerous double bonds, making them prone to oxidation when exposed to heat, light, and air, which happens extensively during their manufacturing process, involving high heat, pressure, and chemical solvents, and during cooking. Oxidized fats are incredibly damaging to cell membranes and trigger a massive inflammatory response throughout the body, akin to rust forming within your cellular machinery. Imagine every cell in your body trying to function with compromised, inflamed membranes, making them vulnerable to damage. A real-life example could be someone who cooks most of their meals with canola oil, regularly eats fried foods prepared in soybean oil, and consumes numerous packaged snacks that list vegetable oil as a primary ingredient. They might experience persistent fatigue, brain fog, unexplained body aches, and struggle with conditions like insulin resistance or skin issues, never connecting these seemingly disparate symptoms to their daily oil consumption. If this systemic inflammation from seed oils is not detected or addressed early, it becomes a foundational driver for a vast array of chronic diseases. It contributes to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, promotes the development of atherosclerosis and heart disease, exacerbates autoimmune conditions, fuels neurodegenerative diseases, and can even contribute to certain cancers. It silently erodes your health from within. making your body a fertile ground for disease to take root and flourish. Building upon the issue of systemic inflammation, another critical and often overlooked manifestation of excessive seed oil consumption is their detrimental impact on cardiovascular health, particularly contributing to arterial damage and increased risk of heart disease, despite being marketed as heart healthy. This is a profound irony that needs to be thoroughly debunked. For decades, saturated fats were demonized, and polyunsaturated seed oils were promoted as the safer alternative for heart health. However, the science now tells a different story. The mechanism by which seed oils harm the cardiovascular system is complex, but primarily revolves around their pro-inflammatory and oxidative properties. As we discussed, these oils are prone to oxidation. When oxidized LDL cholesterols, often referred to as bad cholesterol, circulates in the bloodstream, it's highly damaging to the delicate inner lining of your arteries, known as the endothelium. This damage triggers an inflammatory response, leading to the formation of plaque, which is the hallmark of atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of arteries. Imagine your arteries as smooth, pristine pipes. The oxidized seed oils are like abrasive particles, scratching and irritating the inner lining, making it sticky and prone to plaque buildup. Furthermore, the imbalanced omega-6 to omega-3 ratio contributes to a pro-inflammatory state that further accelerates this arterial damage and plaque formation. A real-life scenario could involve an individual who conscientiously avoids butter and red meat, opting for margarine often made from hydrogenated seed oils, cooking with canola oil, and consuming numerous low-fat, processed foods that are typically loaded with seed oils. Despite seemingly healthy dietary choices, they might have elevated inflammatory markers in their blood tests, develop high blood pressure, or experience chest pain, eventually leading to a diagnosis of heart disease. They might be completely bewildered, having followed conventional dietary advice. If this arterial damage and increased risk of heart disease from seed oils go unaddressed, the consequences are severe and potentially fatal. It leads to heart attacks, strokes, peripheral artery disease, and the need for invasive medical procedures like bypass surgery or angioplasty. It's a silent, progressive deterioration of your most vital circulatory system, driven by foods erroneously considered beneficial, highlighting the urgent need to understand the true impact of these common dietary fats. Beyond cardiovascular concerns, a particularly distressing and increasingly common manifestation linked to the consumption of high amounts of processed seed oils is their potential contribution to neurological issues and impaired cognitive function, including brain fog, difficulty concentrating, and potentially increasing the risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Many people experience a general mental sluggishness, a feeling of brain fog, or a noticeable decline in their ability to focus and remember, without a clear explanation, often attributing it to stress or aging. The connection here lies in how these unstable fats affect the delicate brain tissue, which is largely composed of fats. The brain is incredibly susceptible to oxidative damage due to its high metabolic rate and abundant lipid content. As we've discussed, seed oils are highly prone to oxidation. When these oxidized fats are incorporated into brain cell membranes, they make the membranes rigid and dysfunctional, impairing nerve signaling and communication. Imagine the delicate wiring in your brain becoming brittle and corroded, making it difficult for electrical signals to pass through efficiently. Furthermore, the chronic systemic inflammation driven by excessive omega-6 consumption can also cross the blood-brain barrier, directly inflaming brain tissue and contributing to cognitive decline. This inflammation can disrupt neurotransmitter function and damage brain cells. A real-life example could be someone who regularly consumes deep-fried foods cooked in vegetable oil, uses large amounts of salad dressings made with soybean oil, and frequently eats processed snacks containing these oils. They might find themselves constantly forgetting things, struggling to stay focused at work, or feeling mentally exhausted even after adequate sleep. They might fear early onset dementia, never realizing that their diet is actively contributing to their cognitive decline. If these neurological issues and cognitive impairments are not addressed by reducing seed oil intake, the long-term consequences can be profound. It can accelerate age-related cognitive decline, exacerbate symptoms of conditions like ADHD, and potentially increase the risk of more severe neurodegenerative diseases, such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It's a silent erosion of your most precious organ, the brain, highlighting how seemingly harmless dietary fats can profoundly impact your mental acuity and long-term brain health. Now that we've shed light on the hidden pitfalls of these three commonly perceived healthy foods, whole grains, conventional dairy, and seed oils, let's pivot to the empowering part of this discussion. The solutions and practical advice to navigate your diet more effectively and truly revive your body. This isn't about rigid restrictions, but about making informed choices that align with your body's unique needs, drawing on both cutting-edge science and a common-sense approach to nutrition. Remember, small, consistent changes lead to profound, lasting results. Let's begin with the strategies for reevaluating your relationship with whole grains. Gradual reduction and elimination. If you're a heavy consumer of whole wheat bread, pasta, and oats, don't feel pressured to cut them out overnight. Start by gradually reducing your intake. Perhaps replace one meal's worth of grains with a non-grain alternative. For example, instead of a whole wheat sandwich, try a large salad with lean protein, or use lettuce wraps. Instead of oatmeal, try a smoothie with berries, spinach, and protein powder. Experiment with gluten-free alternatives cautiously. If you suspect gluten sensitivity, explore genuinely healthy gluten-free alternatives. This doesn't mean swapping to gluten-free bread made from refined rice or corn flour, which can be just as problematic due to their high glycemic load and lack of nutrients. Instead, focus on naturally gluten-free whole foods. Root vegetables, sweet potatoes, yams, and cassava tapioca are excellent sources of complex carbohydrates and nutrients. Pseudo-grains, quinoa, buckwheat, and amaranth are technically seeds, but are often used like grains. They are naturally gluten-free and offer a good nutrient profile, though some sensitive individuals may still react to them due to other compounds. Legumes, lentils, chickpeas, and beans provide fiber and protein, and can be a great substitute for grains in many dishes. Rice in moderation. While rice is naturally gluten-free, it's still a carbohydrate, so portion control is key, especially for white rice. Brown rice offers more fiber, but for some, the phytic acid can be an issue. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods. The best approach is to shift your plate composition. Make vegetables, fruits, and quality proteins the star of your meals, with healthy fats as a supporting role. When you focus on these nutrient-dense foods, the need for grains naturally diminishes. Listen to your body. This is paramount. After reducing or eliminating grains, pay close attention to how your body feels. Do your digestive issues improve? Does your joint pain subside? Does your brain fog lift? These are your body's signals telling you what works and what doesn't. The effects you can expect from reducing problematic whole grains include significant improvement in digestive comfort, reduced bloating and gas, decreased systemic inflammation, clearer skin, and often easier weight management due to improved insulin sensitivity. Important notes: read labels carefully. Gluten-free doesn't automatically mean healthy. Many gluten-free products are highly processed and contain undesirable ingredients. Focus on real, unprocessed foods first. This shift might feel challenging at first, but the potential health benefits are truly transformative. Moving on to the second, healthy food category, to reconsider conventional dairy products. For many, eliminating or significantly reducing dairy can lead to profound improvements in health, especially concerning skin and respiratory issues. Trial elimination. The most effective way to determine if dairy is problematic for you is a systematic elimination and reintroduction. Remove all conventional dairy products as milk, cheese, yogurt, butter, ice cream from your diet for a period of 3 to 4 weeks. During this time, meticulously observe your symptoms: skin clarity, digestive comfort, respiratory congestion, and overall energy. Explore dairy alternatives wisely. The market is flooded with plant-based dairy alternatives, but not all are created equal. Avoid options loaded with added sugars, unhealthy seed oils, and gums. Prioritize unsweetened varieties. Nut milks, unsweetened almond milk, cashew milk, or macadamia milk can be good options for beverages or cereals. Check for minimal ingredients. Coconut milk cream, excellent for cooking, curries, and rich sauces. Choose full-fat, unsweetened versions. Oat milk, while popular, be mindful that oat milk can be high in carbohydrates and, for some, might cause similar blood sugar spikes to grains. Always opt for unsweetened. Fermented alternatives for those who miss the tang of yogurt. Unsweetened coconut yogurt or almond-based yogurts can be explored. Again, checking for added sugars and seed oils. Focus on calcium and vitamin D from non-dairy sources. Don't let the strong bones marketing deter you. You can easily get adequate calcium from non-dairy sources. Calcium-rich foods: leafy greens, kale, collard greens, broccoli. Fortified plant milks. Ensure they are fortified with calcium and vitamin D. Sesame seeds, sardines, and tofu. Vitamin D essential for calcium absorption. Get regular sun exposure, consume fatty fish, or consider a high-quality supplement under guidance. Reintroduction, optional and cautious. After your elimination period, if your symptoms have improved, you can slowly reintroduce small amounts of dairy, one type at a time, e.g., a small amount of cheese for a few days, then wait, and carefully monitor for symptom return. This helps you pinpoint your specific sensitivities. Some individuals might tolerate small amounts of grass-fed butter or ghee clarified butter, which has most of the casein removed, or fermented dairy like kefir, while others need to avoid all dairy. The effects of reducing or eliminating conventional dairy can be dramatic: clearer skin, reduced acne and eczema, significant improvement in chronic sinus congestion and mucus, fewer digestive upsets, and a reduction in systemic inflammation. Important notes: be mindful of hidden dairy in processed foods, sauces, and baked goods. Reading labels is crucial. This shift often reveals just how much your body was silently struggling with dairy, leading to a profound sense of relief and improved well-being. Finally, let's address the crucial and perhaps most impactful dietary shift for many: eliminating or drastically reducing processed seed oils and replacing them with truly healthy fats. This is where you can make monumental strides in reducing systemic inflammation and protecting your cardiovascular and cognitive health. Identify and eliminate the culprits. The first step is to become a detective. These oils, soybean, corn, canola, sunflower, safflower, grapeseed, cottonseed, are pervasive. Check your pantry, replace your cooking oils. Read food labels diligently. They are hidden in virtually all processed foods, from salad dressings, mayonnaise, and snack chips to baked goods, sauces, and even healthy protein bars. If vegetable oil or any of the specific seed oils are listed as a primary ingredient, put it back. Be cautious when eating out. Most restaurants cook with cheap seed oils. Ask what oils they use, or opt for grilled or baked options when possible, or choose places that explicitly state they use healthier fats like olive oil. Embrace truly healthy fats. Replace seed oils with fats that are stable, nutrient-dense, and have a long history of human consumption without adverse effects. Extra virgin olive oil, excellent for salad dressings, drizzling over dishes, and low to medium heat cooking. It's rich in monounsaturated fats and antioxidants. Avocado oil has a high smoke point, making it suitable for higher heat cooking, roasting, and frying. It's also rich in monounsaturated fats. Coconut oil, a saturated fat that is very stable at high temperatures due to its unique medium-chain triglyceride (MCT) content. Great for cooking and baking. Grass-fed butter, ghee. If you tolerate dairy, grass-fed butter is a good source of healthy fats and fat-soluble vitamins. Ghee is clarified butter, almost entirely free of casein and lactose. Animal fats, tallow, lard from pasture-raised animals. These are traditional, stable cooking fats that have been consumed for millennia and are resistant to oxidation. Focus on whole foods. As with grains and dairy, minimizing your consumption of processed foods naturally reduces your exposure to problematic seed oils. When you cook from scratch using whole ingredients, you have complete control over the fats you use. Increase omega-3 intake while reducing inflammatory omega-6 from seed oils. Actively increase your intake of anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. This helps restore a healthy balance. Sources include fatty fishy salmon, mackerel, sardines, anchovies 2-3 times a week, flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts. A high-quality fish oil supplement can also be beneficial, but prioritize dietary sources first. The effects of making this switch are profound: a significant reduction in systemic inflammation, leading to improvements in joint pain, skin conditions, and overall well-being. You'll also be protecting your cardiovascular health, promoting better brain function, and supporting healthy cell membrane integrity throughout your body. Important notes: don't fear saturated fat from whole, unprocessed sources. The demonization of saturated fat was largely based on flawed science. The real villains are the industrial seed oils. This change requires vigilance in reading labels, but the health benefits are well worth the effort, literally rebuilding your body's cellular structure with superior fats. Beyond the direct dietary advice concerning these three specific, healthy foods, a comprehensive approach to truly revitalizing your health involves broader lifestyle changes, including mindful eating, adequate hydration, regular exercise, and consistent stress management, all of which synergistically support your body's ability to heal and thrive. Let's discuss mindful eating. This isn't a diet, it's a practice. In our busy lives, eating often becomes a rushed, unconscious act. Mindful eating involves paying full attention to your food, its flavors, textures, smells, and how it makes you feel, both during and after consumption. It means eating slowly, chewing thoroughly, and recognizing your body's hunger and fullness cues. This helps you avoid overeating, which can put a strain on your digestive system and lead to weight gain, regardless of the food type. Imagine savoring each bite, rather than simply shoveling food in. A real-life example could be someone who used to eat lunch at their desk while working, barely tasting their food. By dedicating 20 minutes to eating without distractions, they not only enjoy their meal more, but also feel more satisfied, leading to less snacking later. The effect is improved digestion, better nutrient absorption, and a healthier relationship with food, empowering you to better recognize how specific foods affect you. Next, adequate hydration is foundational for all bodily functions, including detoxification and nutrient transport. Water isn't just about quenching thirst, it's essential for countless biochemical processes. Aim to drink plenty of clean, filtered water throughout the day. Your urine color should be a pale yellow. While there's no one-size-fits-all amount, a general guideline is around 8 glasses 2 liters a day, but this can vary based on activity level, climate, and individual needs. Herbal teas and water infused with fruits like lemon or cucumber can also contribute to your fluid intake. Remember, sugary drinks, even diet sodas, do not count towards hydration and can be detrimental. The effects include better digestion, improved energy, clearer skin, and efficient detoxification pathways, supporting your body as it processes and eliminates inflammatory compounds. Regular exercise, as we've often discussed on Body Revival, is non-negotiable for overall health and is a powerful countermeasure to inflammation. You don't need to become an elite athlete, but consistent physical activity is vital. Aim for a combination of aerobic exercise, like brisk walking, jogging, cycling for cardiovascular health, and strength training, using weights or body weight to build muscle mass. Muscle is metabolically active and helps improve insulin sensitivity, which is crucial given the metabolic impacts of the healthy foods we've debunked. Exercise also helps manage weight, reduces stress, and improves circulation, all of which contribute to a healthier internal environment. Even 30 minutes of moderate activity most days of the week can make a significant difference. A real-life example might be someone who starts with a daily 15-minute walk and gradually builds up to longer sessions and incorporates a few strength training exercises at home. The effects include reduced inflammation, improved energy, better mood, and enhanced metabolic function. Finally, stress management cannot be overstated. Chronic stress, as discussed previously, triggers a cascade of physiological responses that promote inflammation and can exacerbate sensitivities to certain foods. Finding healthy ways to manage stress is paramount. This could include practices like mindfulness meditation, deep breathing exercises, spending time in nature, engaging in hobbies, yoga, or even just scheduling dedicated downtime. Learning to recognize and respond to stress effectively can prevent its detrimental effects on your digestion, immune system, and overall well-being. A real-life example is someone who dedicates 10 minutes each morning to meditation or journaling, noticing a significant reduction in anxiety and a greater ability to cope with daily challenges. The effects are reduced inflammation, improved sleep, better mood, and a more resilient immune system, all of which support your body in healing from adverse food reactions. By integrating these broader lifestyle changes, you create a synergistic effect that amplifies the benefits of your dietary adjustments, leading to a truly revitalized body and a more resilient state of health. In concluding our deep dive into the truth about these 3 deceptively healthy foods, we've navigated a complex landscape of dietary misinformation and revealed the subtle yet profound ways that seemingly innocuous choices can impact your well-being. We've meticulously debunked the myths surrounding conventional whole grains, dairy, and seed oils, exposing their potential to trigger persistent digestive issues, chronic inflammation, widespread joint pain, unexplained weight gain, recurrent skin problems, respiratory issues, arterial damage, and even brain fog. These aren't just isolated symptoms, they are your body's signals, often whispers at first, escalating into shouts when ignored, that something in your diet is fundamentally misaligned with its needs. The significance of early recognition of these signs cannot be overstated. By paying close attention to your body's subtle cues and understanding the potential impact of these common dietary staples, you empower yourself to intervene before minor discomforts escalate into chronic diseases. you gain the clarity to discern between genuine health, promoting foods and those that are merely masquerading as such due to clever marketing or outdated dietary guidelines. The journey to better health begins with knowledge, but it thrives on action. We've offered practical, easy-to-apply solutions. Reevaluating your relationship with whole grains by embracing naturally gluten-free alternatives and focusing on whole, unprocessed foods, systematically eliminating and wisely replacing conventional dairy with truly beneficial alternatives, and critically, banishing inflammatory seed oils from your kitchen and processed food choices in favor of stable, natural fats. Beyond these specific food adjustments, remember the power of holistic lifestyle changes, practicing mindful eating to reconnect with your body's signals, ensuring adequate hydration to support detoxification, engaging in regular exercise to boost metabolism and reduce inflammation, and actively managing stress to protect your overall physiological balance. These are not merely recommendations, they are foundational pillars upon which true, lasting health is built. We urge you, wholeheartedly, to proactively protect your health. Take what you've learned today and apply it with intention and curiosity. Experiment, observe, and listen to your unique body. Shift your perspective from rigid rules to an understanding of what genuinely nourishes and revitalizes you. This isn't about deprivation, it's about liberation from foods that might be silently holding you back. It's about choosing a positive lifestyle that celebrates nutrient-dense, real foods and embraces practices that support your body's innate capacity for healing. Be encouraged, be inspired, and know that every conscious choice you make towards better health is a profound act of self-care and empowerment. The main message is clear. True health comes from understanding your body and feeding it what it truly thrives on, not just what the mainstream media or food industry dictates. Thank you so much for watching this entire video. Your dedication to your health journey is truly commendable, and we are so grateful that you choose Body Revival as a part of that journey. If you found this information insightful and empowering, please do us a favor and subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notification bells so you won't miss our next deep dive into critical health topics. And share this video with your friends and family who might also benefit from these revelations. Your support helps us continue to create valuable content and reach more people who are seeking genuine health answers. We wish you all the very best in health and vitality, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next video. Stay vibrant and keep reviving your body